Welcome to Bragg About It. I'm Meghan Bragg.
And I'm Carleen Bragg.
And we are the Bragg sisters. We are here to talk about all things that we need to brag about.
And we need to brag more.
Obviously. Always. So Carleen, what are you bragging about this week?
This week, to be fully transparent, we were recording this ahead of time. So right now it is May 12th.
Yeah.
But we just had Mother's Day over the weekend.
Uh-huh.
I got my Mother's Day card to my mother in Charleston on time. You know,
We
the Postal Service
love that.
It can be dicey sometimes. And I got it there on time. We celebrate wins big and small.
That is huge. I love that.
Huge.
I Venmo'd my mom, so I mean that's really good.
Good. But you did it on time.
I did it on time,
Hey.
but it was a Venmo.
What about you? What do you want to brag about?
I lifted 20 pounds for my shoulders. Now they're killing me today, but I did it.
Strong women.
Strong women.
Strong women supporting strong women.
Right.
That's what we do here.
And Carleen, we have a really wonderful guest who's
Another strong woman.
Another strong woman, a lot to brag about.
Yes.
So we want to welcome Melissa. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, so before we get into this, you are the executive director of Share.
Yes, Share Charlotte.
Share Charlotte. And this organization has been around for a while. You've been the executive director for about 4 years. For people who don't know about Share Charlotte, it's an amazing, amazing organization. Let's talk about it a little bit.
Yeah, I'd love to. My favorite topic. Really cool story. So Share Charlotte was started by another strong woman in our community almost 13 years ago who was just trying to volunteer with her kids. She saw this huge gap where she really wanted to help the more mid-sized, small nonprofits. And when she'd Google, volunteering, she ended up with really big organizations. So she just decided on her own that she was going to make the Google of nonprofits and make it so every nonprofit can come on our site for free. And the community has a Cliff Notes version of what they do. And most importantly, how they can support them. How do you volunteer, donate, attend an event, shop their Amazon wish list. She just wanted to democratize philanthropy and make it super simple for anyone to get involved in any way that they choose.
I love that you're saying that this is the Google, because that is a great way to put it. If you want to, serve with a nonprofit, this is a great way. You guys have 600 nonprofits, right? On
We have over 850.
850?
Yes.
Okay, so Google lied to me. 850. That is
So
amazing.
Yeah, and we started with 87.
Oh, wow.
And now we're 850. So we have the majority of all active 501c3s. I mean, if you did a real Google search, you'd end up with like 5,000. But who are active. And she purposely wanted to make it so that we were only helping, all nonprofits could be a church, school, club, PTO, association. And they have a built-in support base. A church has a congregation, a PTO, a school has a PTO. Nonprofits, it's the community. A 501c3 belongs to us. So we have to be able to support nonprofits.
Absolutely.
We kind of have the luck and the honor here at WCNC Charlotte to work with a lot of nonprofits during the day. What can you describe what the nonprofit kind of scene is in the Charlotte and then the Carolinas probably in general?
It's rough. Yeah, it's a really hard time. Nonprofits always are on, lean budgets and lean staff, and so it's never like a great time. And they're filling gaps in our communities, right? Like they are there to house and clothe and care for animals and they're filling the gaps in our community. So it's always going to be a hard job, but. Starting in 2025, we just saw federal cuts and, just a lot of change in corporate funding and even in individual funding as individuals are being squeezed. So it's just a really rough time for nonprofits. We saw a 30% decrease in federal funding. We saw a 47% decrease in corporate funding. So it's a hard time overall. And so I'll stop there.
No, and a lot of people I feel like are having a hard time with a lot of things. So it is
Times are tough.
Yes.
Wallets are tight.
Yeah.
We understand that.
Yeah.
And people need, these nonprofits to really help. How would you say Charlotte is as far as giving? Have we continued to give, or how would you
generous are
say?
we?
Yeah, how
Well,
would you say that's going?
I know personally that through our site, volunteers went up 40% last year. So Charlotteans are, I think, generous with money, but generous in their time and their skills and their talents as well. So Charlotte is a special city. People show up around here. I think it's in our DNA to help support each other. So I think we should be really proud and embrace that. But we have a lot of new people that come to Charlotte, 157 new people a day. And, and we need to show them the Charlotte way. And that is about supporting each other in whatever way that looks like for you. Volunteering, an hour, what have you. Just give back in some way.
And you guys started some really cool weeks and months here. You want to talk about, it's a Giving Tuesday, or?
Yeah.
Yes.
So we run 3 kind of community-wide giving campaigns a year. Kind of our Super Bowl of giving, if you will, is Giving Tuesday, CLT. That is the Tuesday after Thanksgiving always. So after we've stuffed our faces and we've shopped till we dropped, a Tuesday to give back. It was started, I think, almost 14 years ago out of New York, and we were one of the very first communities to kind of pull this up. And so I think we'll be celebrating our 13th Giving Tuesday this year, but it is inspired through all of our campaigns and giving over $68 million in giving back to local nonprofits. Wow. So we are excited to be the bullhorn in the community, to rally Charlotteans to be generous. So Giving Tuesday is really about money, but really it's time, talent, whatever they can. We just finished up Do Good Week, which is National Volunteer Week. We make it hyper local, call it Do Good Week, which really we saw volunteers and go through the roof that week. And in the summer, we'll run a Shop for Good Back to School edition campaign that really says, help supply nonprofits with back to school needs to support the kids that they serve. Don't make them spend the money. You spend the money. Couple of clicks on Amazon wish lists, go straight to them.
Awesome.
What do you think is the biggest misconception the public might have about nonprofits?
I think the word not-for-profit
Yeah.
is a big. They are trying to make a profit to reinvest into the impact that they're making in their community, whether it be for staff, whether it be for programs, whether it be to expand services. That kind of is a personal pet peeve. People say not-for-profit, but that they are. A lot of times people say, "Oh, you run a nonprofit. Oh, thank you, God bless you." Like kind of like a little pat on the head. And these are leaders. These are people, the innovators and entrepreneurial, and they are taking all the best practices that a corporate segment has, but with half the resources.
Yeah.
So I love the people we're the 850 leaders we work with, because they're the ones that are making a lot happen with very little, and they're doing it in very entrepreneurial ways and filling in gaps in our community that no one else can fill.
You have 850, right, on your list. What is maybe the smallest to the largest?
Oh gosh.
I know that's a big
love them
question.
all.
That's a big question.
Well, yeah, just to give you a sense, so of our 850, 58% have budgets less than 500K. So you got a lot of grassroots nonprofits in there filling community need. We got a 10% slice in that 500K to $1 million, and then everybody else, 32%, are above that $1 million plus. And so we have everyone from the feral felines group that are taking all the feral cats in our community and neutering them so they're not making more cats and spreading diseases, up to Habitat of Humanity that is providing affordable housing. So everyone in between that, and it's such an honor to work alongside each and every one of them every day and really rally the community to find them and support them.
Awesome. All right, we're going to take a quick break right here on Brag About It, but stay with us because we've got all the nonprofit questions you want to know.
Welcome back to Brag About It. I'm Carleen Bragg with my good sis Meghan Bragg. We have Melissa Hovey with Share Charlotte in the studio with us. Time to get in our feels.
Yes, we love our feels.
I want to hear about a big success story that Share Charlotte has.
Yeah.
big success story with one of your many 800
Oh my
plus.
gosh.
Yeah, 800 plus.
know
I mean,
it's
I'm
hard
sure
to-
there's so many,
Yes.
right? But
So
Is there anyone that
many.
come to mind?
Yeah, oh, yeah, so many to pick from. You know, I love, there's a nonprofit named Champion House of Care, and she is in the North Sugar Creek part of Charlotte. It's a very under-resourced area of our community, and there's a lot of homeless families that are either hoteling or just homeless on the street. And Jeanette is a retired CMS lunch lady, and she saw kids with intellectual disabilities and kids not being cared for in her community. And like most nonprofit leaders, she just rolled up her sleeves and said, you know, I'm not going to stop and get a 4-year degree on how to do this. I'm just going to help and I'm going to serve. And so she does that. And she is the best at not only caring for her community and people that might be unhoused in that area, but she also utilizes volunteers so amazingly. She'll bring in hundreds of church groups and, you know, corporate volunteers to go out and pack hygiene kits, school supplies. I mean, she just makes things happen so easily and efficiently. And I love, she is one of our top 5 volunteer opportunities on our site. And I know that for everyone that volunteers and clicks that button that I want to volunteer, there's about 30 people behind it. Last year, we were able to get 100 Red Ventures interns out there to completely reinvigorate her space. So we love making those connections from either Charlotteans or corporate partners to go help nonprofits. That's what lights us up every day.
when you know, you're obviously in this space, what do you think Charlotte needs the most as far as help with? Is there a specific need, like homelessness or kid? I know there's so much, right? But is there one that really stands out that you're like, hey, we really need a lot of help with this?
You know, Charlotte is such a multifaceted city. I mean, the affordable housing crisis is huge, and there's so many great nonprofits doing great work. The food insecurity is so real with SNAP cuts happening, you know, and there's such a need for drivers. You wouldn't even know, like, there's great food donations, but not enough drivers out there to help Nourish Up get it to different parts of our community. So, you know, it's so hard to say. We're just a really big growing city, and I would say just lean in what calls to you. One of the nonprofits I love, Feeding Charlotte, they came up in 2020 with food rescue. So they're taking food from like big convention centers where they're about to throw it away and bringing it to a local nonprofit. And you know what I love about our nonprofit space is the partnerships. Nobody's out there, you know, doing solo work. They are partnering with everybody else, and they create ecosystems so they can serve our community better and stronger. So yeah, and then I think too, people forget about our environmental nonprofits. I mean, the advocacy work that Sustain Charlotte's doing on the I-77 tolls, whether it be protecting, I mean, Charlotte went from 2% developed to 38% developed, so think about the impact of wildlife and our water sources. So there's amazing nonprofits doing great work to protect all the things that we take for granted every day, like beautiful trees. And so just find a place and plug in.
Well, I know right now, again, we said wallets are tight. So people can donate their time, but you know, there's so many people that are like, my life's busy, this, that, and the other. What do you say to those people that are like, I want to volunteer, it's just hard to carve out a couple hours of time? What would you say to those people?
I'd say find some skills-based volunteering too. Like you could be, you know, nonprofits don't have HR teams or marketing teams or the finance team, the things that we take for granted in a corporate space. So if you have those skill sets, you could just be a thought partner with a nonprofit to help them on that. And I would say, you know, look at their time, or, you know, you could review a resume for a nonprofit's helping someone get their first job out of college. You know, that takes maybe 30 minutes of your time. So on our site, you can drill down into virtual opportunities and find something that really works for the time. And even if you gave an hour a year, that is now worth $36.07 for that 1 hour. So you think it may not be, you know, just an hour of your time. Well, that's incredibly valuable.
And okay, so I'm sure there's a lot of people that have great ideas of like, I want to start this nonprofit. How would they go about doing that? Do you guys, does anyone ever come to you saying, listen, I want to start this, how do I do this? And do you ever give them the support with that, or how could people go about that?
Yeah, we do get that a lot. What I would encourage you to do is, it's a really hard road. So please take a look at our site to make sure there's not somebody already filling that gap, and partner with them if you care about that space. We are not the place to go if you're starting a nonprofit. You have to have had your 501c3 for a year. You have to have a working website and a way that the community can support you. If you're just doing cancer research, we're probably not a good place for you, because we are there to activate the community. But the NC Center for Nonprofits is a great place, has great resources to guide you on if you do choose to start a nonprofit. Actually, the Charlotte-Mecklenburg Library actually also has great resources too, if you want to start. So we are not the first place you should go if you want to start one, but you should look and see who's doing this work, look at the landscape before you get going.
I know that there's some people too out there who try to take advantage of this space, and that's sometimes why people are weary of these things, right? So how do you guys kind of go through and make sure they're in there doing the right thing, not trying to bamboozle anyone?
Yeah. I'd say there's way more good stories than there are bad stories, but you should always do your due diligence. We do look at GuideStar and things like that, but we are never going to, we're about equity, and so we're never going to say we give this the 4-star GuideStar rating. You can do that research, but we do look at all those factors when we onboard nonprofits, and we also look at them throughout the course of a year to make sure they're staying engaged with us. We want to be able to brag about them and showcase the things that they have going on, so that the community can engage with them, because otherwise our site's no good to you. We should be able to showcase the ways that you can support nonprofits in really fun and engaging ways.
How has the pandemic changed the volunteering space?
I think initially it hurt it,
Sure.
to be honest. People, of course, didn't want to get out there, but I think it's come back with a roar. I think people want to give back. They care about where you live and how to serve, especially the younger generation. So I think we're seeing a huge recovery, not only just with Charlotteans, but with corporate partners as well. And I think the cool thing is that Gen Z and the groups that are coming up, they're kind of demanding that of their workspace and their work partner. They're saying, I want to give back. What are you representing in the community, and how do we get involved in that? So I think it's really cool. I think it's coming back with a roar, and we're seeing it.
Yeah, that's amazing. You guys, I kind of want to get into this brag a little bit here. Starting from, this little space to now 850. You've been in this for 4 years. What does it take to do that? That's marketing, that's, getting your name out there. How did you guys do that?
Yeah. I think our biggest brag win is that we stay really close with our nonprofit partners. We really actually know what all 850 are up to. We are side by side with them in workshops, and we host a monthly share latte where we're introducing them to funders. And we truly, my staff and I, care so deeply about the work that they're doing, and we are talking to them all the time. So I think that's grown because they want to be on our site. They see we spend so much time telling their stories, working with media partners, that it is just free marketing for them, and we are there to be their advocate and their resources. So I think we've just been so genuine in our care of the nonprofit space. It's helped us to grow, and I think it's also we've really worked a lot with corporate partners, because there are 4,000 businesses in Charlotte. Only 0.001% of them have a community resource to go get all those thousands of employees out there. So we really see that as our chance to be able to help them use their volunteer time off, help them use their matching dollars, get those resources out to help our nonprofits.
Awesome. What is the goal here for you guys? 850 is incredible. It's a lot. Do you want, 100,000 people? What is the overall thing that Share Charlotte wants at the end of the day?
Ultimately, we want money back to our nonprofit partners, money, volunteers. We want that impact back to our nonprofit partners. We are just there to excite, to educate, to rally, so that Charlotteans find a nonprofit and support them in whatever way that they want. So our goal is not about number of nonprofit partners. Our goal is really just impact back to our partners, our nonprofit partners.
All right. Okay, after this break, moment you've been waiting for, why we're here, our bread and butter, even though we don't make anything from this.
No. We just want to make you smile. That's all that matters.
Literally, that's all we're doing. We are going to brag about it. So stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to Brag About It. It's the time everybody waits for. It's the time I've been waiting for. It's time Melissa's been waiting for. It's time Megan's been waiting for. Let's brag about it, y'all.
Let's do it.
Melissa, what do you want to brag about?
I want to brag about our nonprofits.
Yeah.
I mean, talk about waking up every day and knowing people are unhoused, unfed, uneducated. There's so many holes. You could really just pull the covers back over you and go back to bed, but they don't. They get out and they do the really hard work of running a nonprofit, helping people, having to go raise money in a tight environment. So I am just thoroughly honored to work alongside them and to lift up the work that they do. So I want to brag about them. I think they're phenomenal.
I think to brag about you guys for making this space available for these nonprofits. Right. I think it's huge that you are able to not only, make it a space for people to know where they are, but to also support these guys.
So they can do what they do.
Exactly. Right. Because like you said, it's not easy getting up every day and having to do these really, really hard things. So as far as your team goes, what do you want to say about them?
Yeah. Oh, I have an amazing team, and their love and care for the nonprofits we serve is immense. And we get excited every time we get to see them for a workshop or share a latte or an event that we're hosting, which we do a lot. We host over 65 plus events a year. But the energy they bring to every single one of those, and the welcoming, I'm very proud of the way my team welcomes every nonprofit, whether you are a tiny volunteer-led or you're a multi-million-dollar organization. You get the same amount of love and support from us. And so I'm just really proud of that work that we do to support our nonprofits.
Okay, how can people get involved? The big question there.
Right. Go to sharecharlotte.org and just find a nonprofit to give back to. Just use our filtering system. There are over 100 different filters to get down into what you care about. Philanthropy is personal, and we've all been touched by nonprofits sometime in our life. And I just would ask you to go and peruse and date around.
Awesome.
Date around. and then brag about it.
Yes, and then brag about it. And we would love to hear from you guys too. If you are going to one of these nonprofits, just hashtag brag about it, and we'll see it. Yeah, we'll share it. We love that.
Thank you so much, Melissa.
Thank you.
Thank you, Melissa. Very great.
All right, y'all. That's been Brag About It. See you next week.